Welcome back to another episode. I hope everybody enjoyed their holiday with family, friends, and loved ones. And I hope you guys ate a lot. Hope you ate some good food. I ate some pretty good food. It's not always aesthetically pleasing to some people, but for me it's pretty delicious. And before we get started on this video, I just want to remind you, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube page, go over on my YouTube account and subscribe to this video. Some cool things coming in 2019, and I want all of you guys to be a part of it. So today's message is kind of a part two. So I believe I put out a video I think it may have been a couple months ago. Maybe it was 3 months ago. I can't remember. But it was about love. And today's message is, what is love? So it could be a part two to what that video is about. And I recently started a meetup group that is called Health, Wealth, Love, and Happiness. And we met a few nights ago. And one of the last topics we had talked about, we talked about happiness for the first, I think it was 30 or 40 minutes. And then the last topic we talked about was love. And I brought up the question, what is love? How do we love? What does love look like? What is our perception of love? What is our idea of love? So I brought up all those questions, and it is very interesting getting everyone's view, perception, and idea of love. And as we started talking a little bit deeper about it, I asked the question, do we adults have the idea of love wrong? And do kids have it right? So what I mean by that is, if you go to, or if you're in a classroom of maybe first graders or second graders, maybe even third graders, you understand that many of the kids that age love unconditionally. So they're not worried about what their friend thinks. They're not worried about what their family thinks. They just love unconditionally without having, for the most part, having walls or being embarrassed of showing their feelings. But as us adults go through life, we started out at a young age, and then as we get older, we almost in a way hold back our feelings or our true feelings to people that we care about. Now, a lot of us have gone through hurt, pain, what have you, and some of that is, I think, to blame. But the other thing I think is to blame is we see TV shows that have happily ever after ideas or endings, movies, books, romantic books, and we often see it on social media. And so as adults, we start to compare or get this idea of what love looks like. And so as we're talking into this meeting, some of us had agreed, do us humans, or do us adults, have the idea of love wrong? Is our perception about love, because we've been bombarded by different commercials, different movies, different stories, different ideas that we have kind of built in our head of what love looks like. And so even take maybe two birds, for example, sitting in the tree, and how they interact and mingle with people. With each other. Take animals, for example. Watch two dogs play. Watch how they interact with each other. And you can start seeing how different animals interact with each other unconditionally. But then when it comes to humans, we have up all these walls, or we are very hesitant to show our true feelings for one another, and that could be family, friends, significance. We hide our true feelings. Is that because we have become scared to show our true feelings? I think the other question I asked is, or somebody had mentioned, there are different levels of love, and there are different levels of expectations when it comes to love. So when you're dating somebody, there's going to be different expectations When you're engaged with somebody, there's going to be different expectations. When you're married, there are going to be different expectations. But what do we see in movies? We see this fantasy land of what love is, not maybe always understanding that in every single relationship, in every single stage of love, there are different expectations that you and your partner are wanting and maybe expecting. Now, again, we go back to love. Our expectations of love, are they too high? Are they too low? So it's very interesting, the conversation we had around that, because me personally, I think many of us adults have this idea of what love is based off of movies, based off of social media and books that we read. But what really is it? What is love? Do we know what love is? Do we always interpret love like we should? So my challenge for you is to drop me a comment below, and I want to hear your definition of love, because I think many of us have different variations of what love is. We have different definitions of what love is, but is there one clear-cut, concise definition that we can put in front of or behind love? So again, I want you to drop me a comment. Let me know what you think the true meaning of love is. And, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, subscribe to this page. By you subscribing to this page, it helps me not only create my messages, but it's to hit a wider audience. If you've seen many of my posts on my Instagram page, which is KOATSC, and you'll notice how everything's about positive energy, about bringing up topics that force you to think. Now, not everybody can handle that, and that's fine. But the ones that I do, I challenge you to think and drop me a comment and let me know. Let's get a dialogue going, because I think when it comes to love, sometimes we're not always taught it in school. We're just expected to know. Think about, as we get into relationships, as we get into marriages, is there a class ever in grade school, high school, college that really teaches us how to show up in those relationships? Maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need more classes on how to love. It's kind of like the song Lil Wayne, How to Love. But I think that we all could use a little bit more thinking or have a different approach to how we show up in many of these relationships and marriages, because I think, you look at the divorce rate right now. It's unreal. So people get married and then it's like, yeah, we quit. And that's, I think maybe that's another reason why many of us are scared to love, because of the expectations or what we see when it comes to marriage. And we see so many people get divorced that it's like, what is the point of loving one another if we see so many bad relationships and marriages? Maybe we need more classes on relationships, love, marriage. Who knows? But as I mentioned, drop me a comment below. Let me know what your definition of love is and what you think about love. Do us humans have it wrong? Our kids, do they have it right? Animals, do they have it right? Loving unconditionally. So as always, I hope this struck a nerve with you. I hope it reached somebody. I hope it inspired somebody. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And we'll talk soon.